All right, high rollers. Today we have got the queen of micro stakes grinding. You've seen her on Twitch, one of the first women to showcase her talents on that platform. She's been streaming live to the world for 2 years now, proving that with hard work you can successfully grind small stakes MTTs. A two-time winner of the PokerStars Micro Millions, once in Hold'em, once in PLO, and on Pocket Fives, it's a litany of cashes. Deborah Vanest, our guest today, Queen Bee Poker at Queen Bee 902 on Twitter. Deborah, welcome to the show. Thanks for being our high roller today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me and taking an interest in the Queen's stream. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, I love the stream. 2 years on Twitch. In fact, today marks the 2 year anniversary. Congrats on that. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. I mean, it started out as, kind of winning the first Micro Millions, and in March of 2015, the next Micro Millions was coming up, and I had just been introduced through a friend to Poker Staples in December and thought, hey, let's do this. It looks like fun. It looks like something I can do, and let's give it a shot.
I want to talk more about the Micro Millions, but dare I say you are one of Twitch's poker pioneers? I mean, you've been on there 2 years. That's a long time. A lot of people have come and gone in that time.
I mean, it's definitely a hobby of mine. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's very cathartic. I have a really great, loyal following. The poker community, has really been wonderful and really supportive of each other. I, even like to say I've made some good friends that hopefully I'll have the opportunity to meet everyone in real life. And it's been a wonderful journey. I mean, it's had its ups and downs, but overall, the poker, the Twitch, the streaming has all been a hoot. It's definitely been a lot of fun.
For a lot of people, it's a leap of faith even to deposit money to an online poker site, but for someone to then play in front of a live audience, that's a bigger leap of faith. How have you found that experience going from day one until now, 2 years later?
Well, I think it really teaches you, it's taught me a lot of patience. It's taught me to try and definitely learn to talk out my hands and talk out my thought process. It's been really great to learn from other streamers that are a lot better than I am. I'd like to say that I try and take lessons and a lot of things from each and every stream that I watch and learn and grow and incorporate into my own stream. So I definitely think that, I've evolved as a poker player and as a streamer. I'm still a hobbyist and hope always, to have that good score and to do my best at playing poker and continue to try and learn and up my game and do better. But I'm really great that poker doesn't necessarily, it's not defined by any kind of nuances like age, gender, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it's been a journey, and it definitely helps and keeps you balanced and makes you think. So I think that streaming overall has tried to make me better at my game and explain to people my thought process. And it's taught me a lot in the process about the game and the discussion of the game and game flow and all kinds of things.
Well, we've had a lot of Twitch streamers on, Jamie Staples, you mentioned there, and he says that, when you're talking out the hands to the audience, it's almost like you're coaching the audience, you're trying to entertain them, and in turn, that helps your game because you're in the moment staying focused.
For sure, and then being a part of a poker community, then you just kind of get to bounce things off other people, or you'll get people in chat that aren't necessarily too much of a chat pro and can help give you some constructive criticism, or maybe give you comments to maybe think about how you might have check called rather than betting, and just all the different things that you can learn from poker and from the poker community and from streaming. I mean, if you want to get better at poker, I mean, Twitch poker is the way to be. There's so many incredible streamers, there's so many great styles, there's so many great MTT players, and it's probably the best platform in all areas when it comes to like coaching, learning, I mean, all aspects of poker, learning to talk it out. Discord has been an absolutely invaluable app for a lot of streamers and for a lot of people wanting to learn the game. It allows them to go into their favorite streamers' chat and post hand histories, discussions, share your wins, share your bad beats, or, definitely have a community that has empathy and shares it as well in your excitement and your joy. And, it's kind of like your little poker support group.
Well, I was going to ask you this later, but I mean, Twitch as a whole has really exploded onto the poker scene. And when you think about it, all the different streams, as you mentioned there, it really is probably the number one resource for learning the game. And to watch it, as a poker fan, it definitely improves your game just watching it.
For sure. Even as the streamer and as the player, it definitely improves it. I had a gentleman in my, I'm assuming gentleman, in my chat today, and he just said, love your stream, love your thought process. I think you're a good player. And how much does it cost to be a student of poker? And it's still amazing that there's still people that will come in and take an interest and want to learn by something that you have said or your style or what you've done, that you've captivated them and drawn them in to the game to the point that they want to become a student of poker and learn what that involves. And it doesn't have to be a cost. It doesn't have to be a cost. There is so many YouTube videos and VODs and free streams and training in all aspects of MT&T play. And I mean, I'm an MT&T player, so, I can't speak on the cash side of things, but such a wide variety, from Tonka P to the Fan 83, his deep run. He's got some fearless floating moves that he loves to do. Jamie, Kevin, watching Kevin grow from never, ever, ever playing online and going from the live stage to the online stage, to growing his game, to like digging deep and like learning and growing and getting his PokerStars sponsorship and getting all of his street runs and crushing micro stakes, all of the journeys that you have got to watch for different streamers for different reasons, has been fabulous as a poker fan. And to be a part of the poker community even means that much more.
Well, I know you're a big advocate on Poker Study. You watch all the training videos. And one of the impressions I am left with after watching a Twitch stream, say Jamie Staples or Jason Somerville, is how am I ever going to beat these guys? I mean, they work hard at the game. I know you work hard at the game too. And it's important to do so, right?
Well, I mean, especially being a hobbyist, you're always a student of the game. You always have to study, evolve, talk hands out. You always have to put in the room in the lab, so to speak. It's a constant. Like, I feel like when you play poker, you're forever in school. You're forever learning, you're forever evolving. I think you're always putting in that effort to grow and adapt. I mean, I'm not striving to be the best, but I would definitely love to be successful and to be more successful and to be competent and to be credible, as well as really keep it fun and keep it light. And I mean, I've learned a lot about patience, and watching Jason and Jamie and Tonka, take the bad beats and, like today, losing a really deep run set over set. No one wants to hear it, but taking it with grace and dignity and just moving on has infinitely helped my mindset and my overall take on the game, and just really trying to enjoy the moment with my viewers and grow myself. And sometimes that really is difficult. So that has been really invaluable to me, is seeing these guys with such class. I think it's helped my own personal game as well as my own personal kind of life and take on things and how I behave as a human being.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've watched your stream many times. I follow you. I like the stream. It's pretty laid back. You always have good tunes on. And then you bust someone, and it goes from being laid back to like someone just scored a soccer goal in overtime or something. I mean, you got that ole, ole, ole going. You have fun in the stream. What's your philosophy? What's your approach? You just kind of like to keep it laid back?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you definitely want to have it inviting and fun. And like anything in life, you can't really take yourself too seriously. And I mean, for me, poker is an outlet. It is a hobby. I want to learn and get better at it, but I definitely want to have some fun. Like, I want it to be a similar experience that if you're going to a 1-2 live game where you just have some banter, you have some fun, you pour yourself a drink, you chat with everyone, you interact, the regulars come in, it's equivalent to your night out, like you're at Cheers, you're meeting everyone at the bar, everyone knows your name, and you're going to have your drink and sit down, and hopefully you're going to have the journey together of a final table. And it's really great because everyone gets to experience your feeling and emotion with you on your journey, which kind of sets Twitch apart. It's a really interactive movie where everyone who's watching is a part of it and has the option and the opportunity to instantaneously comment and react and see your reaction as well, which, can definitely set you apart. It can definitely make you look like a tyrant, or it can make you look like say, hey, yeah, in the big scheme of things, in the big picture of life, is losing this set over set flip for this 22 buy-in going to define my life in any way, shape, or form? And of course, it's not. It doesn't mean anything.
Right. There's always another tournament. And there's always another troll. Last question about Twitch. How do you handle these trolls? Because I guess sometimes you can have fun banter with them, but other times it seems like they might be tilting.
In the beginning, I thought it was really tilting, and I think that was for me probably a confidence issue because you're new and you're learning yourself. And there's a lot of things about your game that you're not confident in, especially as you're learning and growing. And then, as a human being, you're just not used to people in there just kind of shitting all over you. Like, just blatantly telling you how horrible and awful you are. So that definitely is an in-your-face adjustment. But then I'll have really amazing trolls. Like there's this one new troll that is, I don't even know if he's necessarily a troll, but it's Granny B 902. I'm assuming it's a he, but I don't know. It could be a girl. And they definitely make me take myself lighthearted. At first I kind of took offense to it if he would kind of troll me about drinking or this or that. I would kind of like take it to heart, but now it's just kind of like I try to definitely embrace it a lot more. I'm hoping since I've been on Twitch for 2 years that I've filtered out the really negative, threatening trolls. It's really unfortunate that there's that kind of trolling on Twitch and that the keyboard warriors feel that they need to project that kind of negativity onto someone as an outlet for whatever's going on in their own lives, which, can be a scary platform. I think I handle it a lot better now. My mods are actually fabulous. I have a great mod team. I don't have a lot of tolerance for the hard trolling. It's just an insta-ban gone. If this is all you have to say, I don't have time for this. So I definitely have a loyal following because, some of the people that'll come in and say, wow, you're way too uptight and I get banned for this and I got timed out for that. So I think people know that there is a level of zero tolerance and a level of, I'd like to think, respect and just being human. My motto is treat people the way you want to be treated.
Right.
And I'm the queen.
There you go. You're the queen.
And I will treat everyone like they're a queen. And I expect the same in return.
I always find it funny on Twitch how many viewers are expert poker players after they see how the hand played out. It's always funny to me. Listen, I got to ask you about your Micro Millions wins. First of all, the one in 2014, $3.30 with rebuys, close to 10,000 people. That's a score of more than $11,000, I believe. I mean, no matter what stakes you're playing at, that's truly amazing. I mean, 10,000 players, that's larger than any WSOP main event ever. I mean, to get through a field like that is really amazing. And then I come to learn that your other Micro Millions win is in PLO on the second day of streaming.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, and my first one was my son's iPad.
Yeah, that's the one with 10,000. You started that late at night. It went right through the morning, correct?
Yeah. I just put my son to bed, and I late regged with about a half an hour left. So I bought in for my $3.30, and I picked my spots and ended up having a really, really huge double up with aces right at the end of the rebuy add-on period because it was only for an hour where the rebuy and add-on was. So I ended up going into the next stage with a really healthy stack, and I'm not even sure that the 10,000 runners included the rebuys and add-ons.
Well, I'm sure it didn't.
So that was probably like 10,000 individual runners. And so I was invested for like $9.10.
Unbelievable. You talk about confidence. I mean, to get through a field like that, you must have just been on top of the moon at the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, I made a really great deal five-handed, but there's no deal button on the iPad. PokerStars, the app. There's no deal button. There isn't. There isn't. None that I've found. And I've got a new iPad. And I actually have I actually just recently final tabled the mini Sunday stack on the iPad. And it was about 4:30 in the morning. And there's still no deal button. So that was a little bit of a struggle trying to get the tournament stopped to make a deal. And I mean, I made a deal five-handed for almost first place money. And then with 1,000 left to play for, it was, definitely first place money. And I had decided that I wanted the title and I was going to play really aggressive. So I was aggressive every hand after.
Yeah, I read on the blogs that you absolutely dominated that final table.
Yeah, I mean, I ran good too, but I was very aggressive. Like, this is my tournament, this is my money.
And I also read that with about 200 players left, you just got this feeling that the tournament was yours.
Well, yeah, I had ran this bluff with twos on a 4 heart board, and I had the 2 of hearts, and I ended up being like really crippled. And a couple hands later, had come back from that exponentially. And then I ended up being, I think, in the big blind with kings or aces. And I think it was under the gun raise, and then like a re-raise, and then like another all in, and I went all in. So it was like a 4-way all in. I'm not sure if I had kings or aces. I'd have to replay it, but it was like ace queen and ace nine, and I think my kings and something else. So we held to have a monster chip stack, like monster. And I thought, this is it. There's just no way I'm losing this. There's just no way. So yeah, that was definitely a defining moment. It's always great when your cards hold 4 ways, because we all know that's really difficult. But that was definitely a really great feeling and an aha moment. It was definitely a confidence booster.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how many people in my audience, me included, have ever turned $3.30 into more than 11,000.
And that's US.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
like,
And never mind top a field that large. I mean, that really is amazing. No matter what stakes you play, to get through a field that size is pretty unbelievable. PLO, you win one in PLO as well. Do you play PLO a lot? Is that a game of yours as well?
I love PLO. I'm a huge fan of PLO. And even watching Adrian like Talenchik streams, and even Jason Somerville, like the banana games, really love like the change in dynamic and just like learning the games and just becoming a student of poker. I mean, to be a good kind of overall poker player, you definitely have to incorporate mixed games into your repertoire. And I had just randomly had picked a tournament, and it just happened to be that I'm going to try this tournament. It started at 6 a.m. my time. No, 7 a.m. my time, 6 a.m. Eastern. My son is off to school at 8 a.m. So I had started relatively around starting time, got my son off to school, and then started up the stream. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he had just come through the door just as we booked the win. So in my son's school day, I had won my second Micro Millions, and it was really great. It was only my second day of streaming. I probably only peaked at maybe 500 viewers. Big shout out to Grips, who came in the stream, made a donation, sent out lots of tweets, and got people aware of myself and my stream. And Joe Ingram was great. Gave me the shout out and came in the stream. Great PLO player as well. So it was definitely, a lot of support. It was really overwhelming. And, I love PLO. Am I really great at the game? I think at the end I really ran well. It is really difficult. Equities run really even in, really close in PLO and a lot of the banana games. So it was really great to have my hands hold. And heads up, I couldn't lose a hand. I just crushed the guy heads up. It's really unfortunate that I wasn't able to save the VOD from that day. But yeah, it was a wonderful journey. And there was a lot of trolls in chat. It was my second day streaming. You've got 4 cards. At the end of the hand, when they go to ship the chips, you're not even sure.
I know, it's so quick.
There's like so many cards. You're like, did I win that? And they would be like, oh my God, she doesn't even know if she's won the damn hand. You're such a fish. But, I was a happy fish that, again, took home about another 5,000 or 6,000 Canadian dollars.
Absolutely. So. You get the last laugh. Poker in Prince Edward Island. Have you got a lot of choice out there when it comes to live tourneys or live cash games? Do you play a lot of live poker?
No, there's not really. There's just the Red Shores Racetrack and Casino, where they have some 1-2 and 5-5, but it's very limited. They have like 4 tournaments a year. They have like the Deep Freeze in February, and then they have, I think, the ACPC or something in June, and then I think they have one in October, so maybe it's only 3 a year, I don't know. It's pretty expensive just to get off the island to be able to go to Montreal or go to Vegas or to go to any place that is going to have much better live play, or even just some satellites to bigger events, like they have in Montreal that they're running right now for their biggest event, I think, with the biggest prize pool ever that they've got coming up. So you definitely have to be really significantly rolled just to be able to get out of PEI for the $500 flight just to get to Toronto or Montreal to play something. So that's kind of unfortunate, and that's probably why I've turned to and kind of settled with online poker.
The WSOP is fast approaching. I know that every year in these large multi-field tournaments, women make up about 4 or 5% of the field. Have you got any thoughts on how to attract more women into the game from firsthand experience? What should be done? What can be done?
Yeah, That's the big magic question.
It seems like poker is a game of equal footing, right?
Yeah, for sure, but men don't feel that way, or men, I don't think that way. I think women definitely kind of analyze and have a different take on the game. I mean, I think women have a really great read on people and have a really great, genuine, more instinct of the game, maybe more so than the math. Though I've definitely learned to incorporate the math. Watching Jason Somerville, I've defend my big blind like there's no defense of my big blind. I'm settling down with that a little bit and trying to pink my spots, but what to do to invite women into the game. It is really difficult because it is such a male dominated. It's tough. I don't really even know what to say and where to go because there's just, I think, such a lack of respect on a lot of fronts. It's a dangerous slope. Either way, what my thoughts are going to piss somebody off one way or the other. But I think it's definitely really intimidating, and men definitely like to be really aggro and really aggressive. So how do you get a really great, inviting environment so that women are comfortable and it's not all about, I don't know, the long blonde hair and the cleavage. It's more about the skill. And I definitely don't know the answer to that. I mean, I'm really persistent. And, I saw Kara Scott happen to tweet something out the other day about, strong opinions or so. I'm not exactly sure, what her tweet said, but it was something about women having strong opinions on something. And, I'm, definitely opinionated and confident and, like have a lot of perseverance when it comes to wanting to get really good at something. But how I would be in Vegas in a live arena, my first experience at live, 2 weeks into playing, not even having any clue how to play online poker, let alone live poker, was the PCA. And I was scared shitless. I mean, I had to have a couple double rum and coke just to relax enough to be able to sit at the table without shaking like a leaf. And I mean, this was even with women and a women's event, and it was pretty aggressive. And then having a couple of double rum into you, you get really, really chatty. And then you're kind of like alienating some of the people at the table, and they're like, "Oh my God, will she ever shut up?" So it was an interesting experience. One I would never trade. I got to meet Daniel Negreanu and Vanessa Selps, and I had won a seat to Vanessa Russo's boot camp and got to tap her math brain. And it was just a really, really, really amazing experience. One, though, I do wish I had over again, but I couldn't do it over again without kind of more knowledge and more confidence. So hopefully someday that will come for me in the live arena. That's definitely on my bucket list, and goals for the Queen in the future is to play more live and to interact and be more social.
Yeah, we've had a lot of women on the show, and they all say the same thing. It can be very intimidating, and if there was an answer, it would have been solved by now. I like to check my guest Twitter profile, and in part, yours says Belgian royalty descent. I'm curious what that means.
The Van Est family descends from the Belgian royal family dating back to the 400s.
Wow.
We were barons in the royal family, in the Belgian royal family, dating back to year 400.
And I assume that in part is Queen Bee.
Well, I mean, it's very apropos. When I went to come and do my PokerStars name, I actually sat down at the computer, and my 7-year-old at the time, we were just sitting at the computer trying to think of names. And my name is Deborah, which means queen or queen bee. So we went with Queen Bee. And there's a gazillion Queen Bees on PokerStars. And Rafe was just like, just go with 902, which was our postal code. And then it wasn't really until, I'd always known and always been told that I was a part of the Belgian royal family. But actually, we had kind of did the family history and the family tree and got to see where we were. So we're not high up. Barons are not high up in the hierarchy of royalty in the royal family, but in the bloodline nonetheless. And thought it was very apropos that my name's Deborah, I'm the Queen Bee, and I do descend from Belgian royalty, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, I always knew there was something about you when I was watching that stream. I was watching Belgian royalty. Okay, lastly, it's your 2-year anniversary on Twitch Poker today. I know you've got some great sponsors, Razor Clothing, Poker Tracker, Tournament Poker Edge, TPE. Anything planned for your viewers? And talk about your sponsors a bit.
Yeah, I mean, TPE, big shout out to Killingbird and Derek. He's been a huge supporter. Was one of my first affiliate links on my channel. Always been really fabulous to donate 1 month subs to give away, like on my 1 year anniversary and any kind of celebrations that I happen to have on the stream. Also supply, some tournament poker edge swag. So, big shout out to KB and TPE and the whole kind of organization. Been a really great support of the Queen stream. Also, Razor Clothing, we actually just got an affiliate link with Razor Clothing and Wes. So, got your 10% off with the bonus code Queen Bee. So be sure to get your Razor Clothing swag and hit up Razor Clothing. And we also are going to be affiliated with Poker Tracker, who are going to very kindly kind of coach me through setup. I finally invested in a real big girl HUD, so they're gonna assist me with that. So big shout out to Poker Tracker 4, and they're also going to be donating prize for one of my lucky viewers, a Poker Tracker for either Omaha or Hold'em for one lucky viewer to win. So we'll have some other little gift cards and prizes and giveaways, maybe percentages of action and some sweats. It should be fun.
Yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun today. Congrats on 2 years. It certainly is a milestone. 2 years on Twitch Poker. Queen Bee Poker at Queen Bee 902 on Twitter. Deborah Vaness, Belgian royalty. Thank you so much for being a high roller today.
Thank you so much. It was really great to be here.